So there have been a lot of things on YouTube that have shocked me. There have been a lot of moments where a creator did something that really struck me without a doubt. And like there's 2 decades YouTube has been a thing. It's been nonstop. A lot of things that have happened are just it's like so much to consider. But of every single thing that I've ever seen on this website, I don't think I've ever had the feeling that I've had following what just happened. And for those of you who don't know, and that's kind of no one because this is like the biggest thing right now, Idubbbz brought back Content Cop. He actually did it. And a few months ago, I even made a video discussing this where I basically said that his recent content, especially in the last year, has been very critical of other people, and it's clear he does want to do commentary about other people who he doesn't particularly appreciate. And it's clear that he wants to do that kind of content. And honestly, his yearning for Content Cop, that kind of stuff, is still there, but he can't go back to it because he already divorced himself from it, and it just has kept him in an awkward limbo, as I said. Well, that view has been vindicated because it came back. It came back, and wow, that alone is a shock in itself, but that's not what this is about. What this is about is that without a doubt, this is the worst content cop he's ever made, which okay, that part wouldn't be so shocking on its own because it's been almost like 8 years since the last one, and of course he's going to be rusty. So that wouldn't have been an issue. That's not the issue. The issue is who he did it on, how he did it, and like and basically what he's chosen to do with his image at this point. It's of course on H3H3. And Jesus Christ, this is just insane on so many levels. This was just abhorrent on so many levels. It's hard to believe. And so there's a lot wrong with this video that was 66 minutes long. 66 minutes long, which is really insane to think of considering that it really didn't have that much substance. Like the video was, it just felt like one rant. But what really just made this so insane and just terrible and a destruction of what was his best property, his best series, is that H3H3, for context, has been the subject of a harassment campaign since October 7, 2023, essentially, which is Ethan does not support what Israel's been doing to Gaza. But Ethan, being Jewish and also dual citizen in Israel and married to an Israeli woman, he has a lot of fondness for his home country, and his thought is, I don't agree with what the government doing. I think Palestine has a right to exist, but I also don't think Israel should not exist. I don't think it should be dissolved because a lot of people live there. A lot of people only have citizenship there, and it's just insane and it's immoral, and what happened on October 7th was terrible. That's his stance, and because of it, he's been nonstop harassed. He's been called genocide supporting. He's been called just the worst things. His wife has been harassed. His friends have been harassed. His family had CPS called on them on a lie. Like, so much has gone on in just the last year alone, and it thanks in part to Hassan Piker and the stuff that he was saying and the stuff his community was saying that he refused to moderate for so long, and all of his orbiters who are worse than him, like Frogan and Denims, who are just have been saying a lot of things and doing a lot of things that just are just incredibly gross and incredibly anti-Semitic, like doing a tier list that was incredibly anti-Semitic, and like it's so bad. It's so bad, and it's very clear why Ethan had an issue with that. So Idubbbz didn't want to, he was very silent during it. And Ethan dropped the content nuke on Hassan Piker, and as one of Idubbbz editors starts harassing Ethan and perpetuating a lie that gets CPS sent to his house, Ethan gets frustrated on his podcast that Idubbbz can't even defend him against the littlest thing. He gets frustrated, just has a minor disagreement with him and is just mad. And Ian essentially turns around, sees this harassment, and in the first 2 minutes of the video starts collabing with all of these creators. This is this is insanely like just it's just it's just gross. It's incredibly like these people are in their 30s and they're doing this. It's so just pathetic. It's saddening. It's bizarre that this is happening. It's bizarre that Ian is just siding with people who are bullying H3H3 for because he had a disagreement. And on top of all of that, outside of that collab, the video, it has so many weird critiques that lack a lot of context. He doesn't ever mention CPS getting called to his house. He shows clips of him talking about it in the video, but he doesn't talk about that. He doesn't add that, because if he added that, it would kind of make sense why Ethan is so mad. Instead, it's the craziest thing. He attempts to gaslight Ethan into saying that he's acting insane. And look, has Ethan handled this well? I wouldn't say he's made the best decisions, especially when he tried to do lawsuits against subreddits. Yeah, that's you shouldn't do that. That's kind of stupid. Um, and also Section 230 protects that. That's you can't do that. But this is happening because of the harassment he's getting. And what Idubbbz basically did is side with the people who are just doing this, who are maliciously doing this, who have done abhorrent things. It's insane. It's actually insane how Idubbbz is aligning himself with these people right now. It's a gigantic betrayal. And not only that, not only is this just not a great video, not only is this just evil, not only is this snake-like, what he called Leafy, not only is this all of that, this actually calls into question a lot of other things that we've known about Idubbbz. Like, if you think about it, every single time he's done a content cop, for the most part, a lot of it has just been like his content cop on Keemstar. It happened because he and Keemstar, they were acquaintances for a while, and then they had a minor disagreement in DMs at one point, and that's what got Idubbbz to make a video about him. When you think about all of these different things, you then start to realize I'm and I'm just kind of thinking this is the case, that maybe Idubbbz is just not a good person. Maybe he's just a genuinely horrible person. And then I start to think of the fact that his charities failed, that everything is going on, like the Creator Clash charity that failed. You start to think, oh, well, what if, you know, out of his own ego, he doesn't seem to care too much about all of these things. What if all of the stuff he's doing is because he doesn't really care until his actions come back to him? I mean, it's it's insane that he would make a video like this about his friend of over a decade. His friend who has stood by him, has defended him overall, has defended him honestly at times where he didn't even deserve defending. It's this is just incredibly backstabbing. And to be quite frank with all of you, um, I don't think Idubbbz is a trustworthy person. And what this video just indicates is that anybody who's ever friends with Idubbbz, anybody who ever collabs with him, anybody who ever, does him a favor, they should always have the idea in their head that he could very well at any moment just turn against them and backstab him. Idubbbz is just not a good person. He's not a good person. His content cops were a reflection of that. They were a reflection of that, and that part of him is kind of there. That part of him is just there in the open, and this video is just insane. And it's insanely saddening that instead of just, he could have just made a regular video where he criticized H3H3. Instead, he collabed with people who are not only tormenting him, but literally sending CPS to his house. I mean, it's just insane. This guy, it's there's not a lot of good stuff I can say, and at this point, I just do not like Idubbbz. I don't. It's just he's not a good person. He's not trustworthy, and when I think of his downfall the past few years, it's I think in a way this has proven who the real Idubbbz is, and the reason he's taken such a hit is not because of his past, because everybody has matured, as Idubbbz says. Everybody has matured. The real reason Idubbbz is taking hits is because he's a snake. He's not a good person. He doesn't have any respect for his friends. He will turn against you at the littlest thing, and just hopefully a lot of people keep that in mind going forward. The video has received a lot of dislikes. It's not being well received, but it's really saddening. And again, this really just struck me. Like I'm in disbelief that I've been in disbelief that this is something he would even think of doing to someone he's known so well. It's it's gross. It's gross, and it's incredible how little it took for him to just show his true colors.